Today, it's a special meeting for, special day for all of us who have lived down here. And so in memory of all the people, let's have a minute of silence, okay? All the people who live down here, who passed down here, who are ill and who continue to. So. Excuse me, we're having a moment of silence or. Yeah. Okay, welcome. I'm Susan Cole, the chairperson of the licensing committee for Community Board One. I have two co-chairs here, Gabrielle and Francis Curtis, and our staff person, Mary Jones. So welcome, everybody. I am going to let, it's a very fast one, an old, long-time lawyer of ours and
Right there.
heard that.
You can notice-
For 121 Fulton Street. It's a very fast application. But before Frank speaks, I'm going to let Onesh say something to all of you, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. For those of you who have been emailing the office, it has been me. I'm here in person. Welcome. I just wanna.
No, only board members sit around. You can sit on the other
Get a
side.
chair.
Sorry, get a chair, whatever. Go on.
Okay, so for during the meeting, we have these two owls on the table. They pick up sound and they will, the eyes will move to whoever is speaking. So, and it's very sensitive. So we urge you to only speak when you're called upon, when the chair calls upon you. Please no crosstalk and keep the whispering at a minimum. Please and thank you.
Thank you. So, Frank?
Hi.
Hi.
Boy,
It's for, this is for, 121 Fulton. And the reason you're here is you want 4 AM.
we're requesting to increase our hours from 11 AM to 2 AM, 7 days a week, to 11 AM to 4 AM, 7 days
No,
a week. Okay, thank you. Again, I'm here.
just not gonna do it. And, I appreciate you coming in. We've had one complaint written and another complaint about from neighbors. We have, one of the things that everybody complains about, and I understand it's not always within your control, is that, people leave where you are and they are inebriated and they're on the street where people live, and you, without real tight security, they go meandering on the blocks and whatever, and people live down there. And it may not seem like they do, but they do, and it's disturbing to people. So, I'm not gonna give it to you this time. I don't think any of us are. That's me. I'm going to hear from my committee. 4 AM is just tough down here now. And, it's too much. Yeah, Frank, go on.
Just two questions. We have complaints, not a single 311 complaint against that premises. You know that, I'm sure you checked.
We did check, but we got a written complaint.
And that's someone who You verify that the customer came from us,
Um,
from down the street, or wherever it was.
The address verifies that they live in the.
Right, no, but how did they know they came from us? That's the point.
it says.
Not another bar in the neighborhood, or someone's apartment.
I'm trying to find, I had it in here, Ronesh keeps me on my toes. We do know it was, did I lose it already?
Their apartment faces Fulton Street.
Their apartment.
Yeah, and there's quite a number of families that live in the apartments in the area.
Across the
Of course,
street.
we don't know if, I mean, I could be walking down the street and make noise and it could come from, from me. So that's a hard question to answer. But the fact is that.
I can follow.
It happened, and
I can follow.
we cannot stop people from
I'm gonna follow.
smoking or whatever.
Are they in the group?
Excuse me?
Did they come to this meeting, the people who have a problem with us?
No, they
No.
also not.
No. No. I'm asking if anybody, any of the neighbors who believe we're a problem showed up at this meeting today.
No.
So they did not, we told you, we have people from 111, okay? You can speak, I'm very happy, go
Madam
on.
Chair, what are the hours right now?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. 7 days a week. Okay, let me, okay, okay.
7
So it's a
days
sports
week.
bar.
It's a sports bar restaurant.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
Wait,
so-
I want you to have a piece of information.
Yeah.
They never signed the stipulation, ever. Ever. We gave them till 2, and they never signed the stipulation. I'm not happy about that,
Okay,
but that's okay, you know?
Because they wanted 4, they walked out
So-
here angry.
all right, so
Myth,
it's a
Let's say
sports
that.
bar.
You-
sports restaurant.
It's a
Sports bar
it's a
restaurant.
Sports bar restaurant. And you show, I've been in there, have 20
Fun.
TVs, great. What's happening after 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.? There, unless you're showing Australian rules football, there's not a lot of sports going on in New York, or even on the West Coast. There's a lot of transplants here, so tell me what's happening 2:01 to 4 a.m. that is so critical to your business.
All these people there live across the street and on the street are back. But they look like the people that go to bed. at 2 o'clock.
Every one of these people is a resident of this block.
Okay, and they all want.
They showed up to the meeting. Yeah, they showed up to the meeting to support us, sorry, to support us.
Okay,
Not one single person came to this meeting. I want to give them a chance to come in.
Yeah.
And not block them, so I'll just move
If
this.
you're coming home to your apartment at 19 Dutch directly across the street at 2 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't you want to have a bar open across the street? But if somebody following you, you'd run into the bar.
No. Sorry, so everybody to their own, but I want to say something first, okay? I have no problem making, and nobody has presented us a compromise, and when we talked with you way back, okay, we talked about if there was something in Australia, if there was something special happening, we would consider it, and we would consider a time difference and whatever. But every night, no.
Every other bar, well, every other bar that I own, I have 7 bars. Megan has 7 bars. We're open till 4 o'clock, 7 days a week. All 7.
Where are they?
All set at the 14th Street, Manhattan.
Yeah, I know, different neighborhood.
This church has different stipulations.
Just make a point, last time we didn't sign the stipulations because, they wouldn't move on 10 PM on Sunday nights. And that wasn't acceptable to us, so that's why we didn't sign the stipulations. Our goal has always been 4 AM. You guys said to give it a year, we're now back in a year, being good neighbors. I understand complaints are important, we have to take them very seriously. But that's one person complaining, and I feel like you're not giving enough weight to the dozens and dozens of signatures and the actual people who came out here tonight to speak on our behalf. The other point I'd like to make quickly is that Blue Haven's a big space. There's no need for all of the noise or everything is contained inside. We've got open windows, like those accordion windows, but we don't open them. We don't need to do lines because they could all wait in the lobby area or whatever it's called, the foyer area. So that's my point there.
Has anybody else brought the same?
Sorry, not lobby, foyer.
Francis,
Foyer
has anybody
holds
else
like
brought the
5
same number of
seats.
No,
signatures?
have you walked in there? It's a lot bigger.
I live down the street.
What is-
I pass
We've
it
heard
every
about
day.
you living down the street, Francis, every time we go in front of you, and we understand that. We're not even competing with Southbridge Towers. We're just talking about Fulton Street here. All the people that live on Fulton Street, from Gold to the Oculus.
But the
They have
people
not-
that live
that
in
one-
Southbridge, they walk up and down Fulton Street. They don't just walk around the complex.
Are they walking there at 2 o'clock in the
they-
morning? Well, then
they
let's
come
let's
from
get
the train
get them some
station.
drinks. So let's get them drinks between 2 and
It's
4
a
then.
major thoroughfare in terms of the train station.
Great, then let's get them drinks between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
That's no big.
Let's,
We have very strong petitions. We have, how many people here in support of the type,
Well-
for residents?
well,
Or residents.
residents, because I looked over your sheet and there are
Just
a
now?
lot, no, before.
Sure.
We do it before. And there's no need to be snippy with me, really.
You're a little stiffy with us.
Don't start
Let's
with
go,
me.
let's
I
go
will
forward,
tell
let's go
you.
forward.
Go on, Gabby.
We're not giving anybody 4 AM, but if you want to talk about other hours or maybe an extension on a Friday and Saturday, you can hear what they would be willing to do there.
Can I just ask one thing? Is it the position of this community board, and I don't know the answer, is it the position of this community board that regardless of how long someone's been there and operating, they do not get 4 AM, period?
Yeah, unless you have been here like Stone Street and a few others, and we're giving them a very hard time, nobody gets 4 AM, Frank.
No matter how long they're operating? Okay.
No.
I mean, I understand like there's families living in this neighborhood, but they're not the only members of the community, you know?
Well, they're not, you're correct, they're not. We have been willing, and we have said it before, if there is some sports event, if there is issues in Australia, we're willing to, consider,
Like the Olympics, that would have been a perfect time. No
But-
problem, no problem.
My
But-
point always with 4 AM is this. If you take all the bars, and we have this problem a lot in the East Village, Lower East Side, and you start making every bar close down at 2 o'clock in the morning, go into a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night and it's packed. If you let it stay open to 4 o'clock, you allow some time for people to trickle out in sessions. Instead of, 2 o'clock, all right, gone, everybody's out the door. And then the streets are busy, everyone's fighting for cabs at the same time, everyone's making noise on the street at the same time. Go into any bar at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's really not that many people there.
Well, my committee, at least 2 of the members are willing to give you some leeway, all right? And I'm willing to listen to them. They're much younger than I am. And, if, I'm gonna let them propose and let's see, and if you agree to it. Gab, go to it.
I would be willing to hear about a 3 AM on Friday and Saturday, or like the initial proposal coming in on days when there's throwing events and having extensions till 4 AM during those times. Prove that you guys are good neighbors during those extensions and then come back and.
Okay, sporting events,
International
we're allowed
sporting
to, and Friday and Saturday nights
Till 3.
till
events.
3.
Okay.
You want-
Well, my committee has.
Sporting events 4, I would say. They're gonna be on the show.
Sporting events.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's see how the rest of the committee feels about it.
What did we give you till for Sunday?
Well, we have 2 AM.
We have 2 AM. for Sunday.
Now,
Yes.
that's right, we gave it to,
No,
you gave it, the SLA gave it to you?
yeah, you guys
Okay,
have
so
said
you
10
have 2
PM.
a.m. Sunday.
Leave it as.
We wouldn't be, do it, I just have to remember, okay. So, I have a small committee, I don't have anybody online, right?
So, so you're saying Monday through when?
No, you said the same
Friday
Friday.
and Saturday. until 3.
Friday, this Friday and Saturday.
Till 3.
Mhm.
And
The
then
rest of the week?
it's the regular, they have 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
which is the
I know.
SLA's way.
Not to be rocking the boat, but we need Thursday, so Thursday.
Yeah, can we give him
Thursday,
Thursday?
Friday, Saturday would be good.
I give him Thursday too. That's-
I agree.
I don't know. I'm so old and so tired. But I want to tell you, you've got to really monitor. You've got to really check. There are people there, and you have some obligation. I know that somebody said that safe, blah, 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 but the people with children live in this community. And it's really the issue, even if you don't have children, you hear them marauding at 3 a.m. out your front door.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant.
And the
I
complaint
hear
that came
you.
in,
I
was-
live in the Lower East Side. I definitely hear you and my mom.
the complaint that came in was just people outside. So if you can somehow maybe have security, make sure that people aren't, smoking and being loud outside, that would be really appreciated.
Yeah.
100%.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we're gonna vote. What? I don't have enough to vote, but because I'll have to take it to the executive committee. But I want to vote for all 5 of us who are here, okay? Just so I have it. All in favor? 3 of us? Opposed, or are you gonna abstain? Opposed.
Abstain.
Abstention and
I'm opposed.
and 1 opposed. Okay, we're gonna take it to the executive committee, which meets next week. And then it'll go to the full board. Okay, we'll let
Can I
Frank
ask a
know.
question?
Yeah,
Because we have a 3-1-1, should we be present at any of these later meetings?
I would, you could come and represent, not all of you, a couple of you at the
Forward?
the full board. The full board.
You know, they should.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
you very
welcome.
much for your time. Thank you for your consideration.
Goodbye.
Appreciate it.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You're lucky I have Gabby and Duran, let me tell you. Okay,
Always,
uh,
always.
so we have a, group of people who have taken the time and effort to come here today about Maxwell's. Come on in. Thank you. I'm sorry to come up and move down and take a chair out. This I'm saving for the board members. God willing, they'll come, whoever. And Maxwell's is not up for renewal till December. But because there've been so many complaints, because the SLA, we can overrule us all the time, even when we go down and complain. I wanted you to come in and some of you to talk to us so that we can at least write a letter to Maxwell's and to the SLA, putting everybody on notice, all right, in relationship to the issues that are at home. And I didn't want to wait for a long time. So, that's how we're going to proceed. And I'd like this to last, if we could, no more than 15 minutes, please, because we have another agenda, but I wanted to give you this opportunity to come to us. Joan, I believe, has written to us and been very conscientious. And so you could give us some background and present to the community, all right? So I think it's okay. We have a bunch of letters, and Inej is asking that anybody who didn't sign a letter could speak after my first person on our agenda. Okay, I'm gonna have Joan go first, and I have a group of, a lot of people, but if there's anybody who is not on the list or hasn't written a letter, I would love to hear from you. So Joan Kress, please, Kress? Are you here? Are you online? No, she's not on. She's online. And
Joan,
she,
you can unmute.
you can unmute Joan, and we're gonna let you give the introduction and start, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Well,
but I'm going to read my statement and I'll go as fast as I can. My name is Joan Price and I've been a co-op owner in the building for more than 25 years. In February, in response to an email I sent them, Maxwell's owners claimed to be in compliance with all codes. I knew this was untrue, and I have since spent hundreds of hours of my time documenting the extent of that falsehood. Since opening last year, Maxwell's has violated at least 8 stipulations of its liquor license. It has also been in violation of its place of assembly permits from the fire department and the Department of Buildings, the certificate of occupancy, the terms of their lease, and the house rules for our building. Maxwell's became well known to the police department because of 311 calls and was visited by inspectors from the State Liquor Authority, the fire department, and the DOB. Now pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. When Maxwell's applied to this committee in May of 21, they were granted closing hours of 10 p.m. weeknights and 11 p.m. weekends. They also have a small outdoor space. This was given a 10 p.m. closing time. These were the hours the committee approved, and these were the hours approved by the full community board. However, on the liquor license stipulations document submitted to the SLA by CB1, the hours were very different. 1 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. And for the outdoor space, they were granted an extra hour till 11 p.m. on weekends. And this was what the SLA approved in January 23, believing that this was the recommendation of the licensing committee. David Litwack, the owner, showed me an email thread that explained this discrepancy. He emailed a CB1 staff member and claimed that there had been an error and that the committee had approved the late closing times. The staff member responded that no error had been made. They went back and forth a number of times, and eventually she said she would change the times to those that he requested. The SLA liquor license thus specifies a closing time of 1 a.m. 7 days a week. I brought this highly irregular interference with CB1 procedures to the attention of Susan Cole and Tammy Meltzer, as well as the Director of Enforcement at the SLA. The tampering with the decisions of this committee was in large part responsible for the disastrous impact Maxwell's has had on the residents in the neighborhood. Maxwell's presented itself to the community board as a quiet members-only supper club, but Maxwell's has promoted itself as an event space with loud parties, drunken revelers spilling out onto the sidewalks, DJs and pounding music. Despite the stipulations that there be no dancing and only background noise, Maxwell's became a venue for dance parties, and to this day, their website proclaims the dinner party that turns into the dance party. The music noise has been so loud that teacups rattled on the second floor, and the pillow I put over my head on the 4th floor vibrated to the beat. Because of the cast iron pipes that hold up the floors of our 19th century landmarked building, built to be a warehouse rather than a residence, sounds are amplified and carried to every floor. In our 4th floor loft, we could even hear crowd conversations from the basement. David told this committee that large buyout events would be uncommon. This committee stipulated that Maxwell's would notify residents and neighbors 5 days in advance of any event with more than 75 patrons. They have never done so. Though the liquor license is restricted to the ground floor, Maxwell's held events in the cellar. I told them back in February that this was not allowed, but they continued to do so, and they continued even after the fire department issued a violation order because of fire safety concerns. It was only after I asked the fire department to make a second inspection and they warned Maxwell's that they would be liable to a criminal court summons that they finally limited their events to the ground floor. That was in July. They have exceeded the maximum occupancy they described to this committee, which was 162, told me falsely that they were allowed 75 patrons in the basement. In fact, they are allowed 6 to cover patrons using the toilets. And they advertised that they could accommodate 400 for wedding events. They have over 100 members currently, and they told me that they were aiming for 700 by year's end. God save us. Note, Community board stipulations include a requirement that Maxwell's be respectful of residents and quality of life issues. Their disregard for this stipulation has been astonishing. Picture this. It's midnight and the music is pulsing in our bedroom on the 4th floor. My husband calls Maxwell's and asks that they turn down the music. Nothing happens. He gets dressed and goes downstairs and makes the same request. Nothing happens. Finally, I take the elevator down in my nightgown and enter the club. Everybody turns to stare. I'm not leaving until you turn off the music, I said. I shouldn't have to live this way in my own home. They have transformed our quiet building into a noisy event space that prevents the residents from sleeping, and they have destroyed the unique atmosphere of North Tribeca, which has always been a haven for the families who call it home. In addition, their presence has had major financial impacts on the owners of the co-op. One long-term resident has attempted to sell a lovely and desirable second-floor home, and she has had to make significant price deductions, a total of $1 million as of this week. To date, no buyers have been willing to live above a noisy event space. In view of their flagrant disregard for the stipulations of their liquor license, I would ask CB1 to recommend that their license be revoked. There is every reason for doing so. If you will not do that, at the very least, I would ask that their hours be severely curtailed. Clearly, they should not be allowed to be open for later than the closing times that were previously approved by this committee and the community board. But I would argue that they don't deserve to have a liquor license. They were granted the license with the understanding that they would follow certain rules. They broke those rules. They continue to break them. If this isn't grounds for taking their license away, I don't know what is. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Joan. I appreciate it. One of my committee members has a question.
Yes, this building, I assume from what you said, is a condo or a co-op?
It's a co-op.
Okay, they have a lease for the space?
They do.
Well, but the landlord is the co-op corporation, no, or is it something else?
No, the landlord is one of the shareholders in the building.
Okay, could they possibly be evicted, given that they're probably in violation of their lease?
They could, but that would require litigation because the current landlord has been unwilling to ensure that they follow the rules. So that's one way to go, would be through litigation, which is extremely expensive and time consuming. The other way to go, which I would prefer, is they're breaking the rules. They're breaking the law. If they didn't have a liquor license, or if they had a liquor license that was only good till 10 p.m., they wouldn't be in event space, and they probably wouldn't be in business.
Okay, thank you. I think there are a couple of things. If I understand correctly, and anybody who's here from the building, you can answer. The shareholder, who is also the owner of the space, okay, was probably the developer of the co-op, no?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, Mr.
So-
Redmond, are you,
Bernstein,
okay, Ted, why don't you?
Jonathan.
Jonathan,
So the landlord is one of the tenant shareholders. It's a 2/7 owner of the cooperative. So it's an atypical situation. Typically, a renter would either rent from the co-op directly or would rent from the developer. This building went co-op in 1978. It's been a co-op for 46 years. Just to give you a little bit of background, since this building went co-op 46 years ago, when there was really not anything else in this area, there have been 3 sales of units. So these are all people who have been here for a very long time. And so one of the landlord is one of the tenant shareholders, and that does complicate the possibility to be able to litigate. I'm sure, I think there's plenty of lawyers in this room, or anybody who's done it knows that litigation under the best of circumstances is very complicated, very lengthy, not so easy to do, especially in New York City, and not with guaranteed results. And the fact that the landlord is a tenant shareholder and not the co-op corporation complicates that.
Yes.
So that's part of the problem.
Thank you. So, I'm going to call on other people. Is there anybody, there is Mr. Gutman who is here, I believe, who did not write a letter, but is here. Is he here?
He's
Muting me. Can you hear me? Yes? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not there in person. No, listen, there's nothing to add to what Joan said. You hear what you said. It's overwhelmingly discouraging, of course, to see the evolution of the situation, the deceit. Nothing worse than to be lied to or to be told that you will fix this and that you won't, to be living with a neighbor who doesn't respect his word, who we need to send the fire department. It's a very dangerous situation for us, the basement and the other basement. We tremble with someone who doesn't keep, who doesn't realize and doesn't understand the effect of what he's doing. And I believe that in good conscience, he didn't mean to do that. He was overwhelmed by the enthusiasm of his crowd. I believe it's been a very hard year for young people on campus, especially people from Jewish clubs in the university that had to deal with a lot of anti-Semitism. A lot of people organize parties, a lot of groups coming and try to be together and party and celebrate and dance. I can empathize with the people who go to Maxwell to have a good time. And probably the owners didn't realize how far and how big and how loud all this would become. And I can empathize with the effect that now he has to face us and this deceit, like I said, that we should do something about, because we cannot go on like this. The people who live there suffer economically and psychologically. The torture, noise is torture, as the Chinese knew very well. And I believe that we should do something. I hope the committee will be open to take a drastic decision.
Thank you. So I'm going to call on, I have a list. I'm going to call on you I'm asking if you have something really different to say. I would appreciate it. But I want everybody to understand, and that's why we asked you to come in today. We have to try to figure out what we can do. Remember, we're advisory. The SLA pays attention to us and then doesn't pay attention to us. And so they're up for renewal. We don't know how the 1 a.m. happened. We really don't. And that's, I wish I could tell you I knew. The original district manager is not here, nor is the person who O'Neill's replaced. We have no idea. So I'm trying to figure out, and I wish I had a lawyer sitting here by me, to figure out what the best way is to proceed towards the SLA. Why we asked you here today is we think we would write a letter to the SLA right now, within the month, explaining that they are up for renewal, that the whole building is in an uproar, and that there was a change in hours, not what we originally had approved. And it will be our second letter. We wrote a letter, which you have seen, or Jones has seen, and say that it's not gotten any better. It's gotten progressively worse, I gather. And we will do that, but I don't know, other than if you get really some legal representation, is what, and I know it's a cost, and I know it's like pissing in the wind, you should pardon me, but it can help. And it's something I think I would recommend. We will go with you to the SLA. We will have to. But I know how they rule. I think that the issue of going back to the hours, what I don't understand, and perhaps someone can enlighten us, is how this event space was happening since we gave them, let's say till one AM, do they stay later than one AM? What happens? Do they stop at one AM?
Yeah, they pretty much do.
They stop at one?
How often do they do it? Is it like every night?
No, it's daytime, nighttime, there isn't it, you just don't know, but it's closer, weekends are bigger than the rest of the week.
So usually on Friday and Saturday
And then
and Sunday.
day, five, all times during the week.
They have parties.
So people take, in a month, like how many nights do you think they go crazy?
So, but you know, I mean, maybe they're open 5 nights, 5, but it can be daytime as well. But Sunday morning, Saturday afternoon, you never know, there isn't a given time.
So with daytime, it's their time, so it's the night, it's the,
Directly over.
right.
And then the only one that lives directly. So it's something where if they could do something that sounds good, it might do lots of over. But anyway,
The building's built with cast iron, cast iron supports. There's no tamping down sound.
Excuse me.
So based on
Sorry, I was just gonna make one point from across the street. Is that, their issue is obviously in the special, but, yeah, please, so we can hear and they can.
131.
131, yeah.
I think one of the issues that to contend with is that throughout the night, people come out onto the sidewalk and then they kind of continue the party there because it's a big social gathering. It's a lot of people who are there. They're not at a restaurant having dinner. They're there to congregate with people they know or even, and then it spills out. So the soundproofing is one issue, right? But then it's also enforcing the noise level, on the street.
I would like to just add to that, as a neighbor at 472 Greenwich Street, right around the corner. And that while not directly affected by the sound the same way that you are, like the previous speaker, we are also affected by the traffic, the spill out, and also watching the earlier video of this meeting in 2021 and the way it was presented and that it's private, and it's members and code of conduct, and it's very interested in the community and everything. It's really not like that. And there is the code of conduct that seems to include partying out on the street. I've seen it with fleet lights and the backdrop and a velvet rope, and I took a picture of it. I submitted it to the SLO, but it's the building and it is the immediate community in what is a very, very quiet corner. Also in that video, mention of including other restaurants to contribute food and work together. Tonight on my way over, I went to all the restaurants mentioned and I said, yeah, no, nothing, no, not those guys, no. It was just really, nothing is as presented. And I think they're poor neighbors.
Based on the previous situation we had, are you open to any kind of compromise, like 2-3 nights a month? I'm just compromise.
So, I think that, and speaking on behalf of some of the residents of the building, I manage the building. One of the issues that we've had is that there's a credibility problem. And on a number of occasions, we have come to what we believe to be some fair and reasonable arrangements. And not only are they not honored, there is a basic underlying dishonesty over very basic black and white issues, like whether or not there are parties in the basement where there's no certificate of occupancy, whether or not there's cooking on premises when there aren't FDNY approved hoods. And on the one hand, the residents of the building are being told, no, there's no cooking. And yet the next day, we find videos on social media of them not cooking scallops. So it's very hard for us to consider a compromise when there, and, you know, also going back to that same, I rewatched the video from May 2021. And one of the presentations that the applicant made at the time was that the space was being built to fit group sizes of 10 to 20, that it couldn't accommodate group sizes, parties of 100 to 150. And it was just, it's so disingenuous because, and it was it was a very smooth presentation. It was exactly what we all wanted to keep the people in the building, was exactly what we all wanted to hear. But then the reality just didn't bear it. So, I mean, if a compromise can be proposed, I think that the residents in the building would listen. But I think that there is just this underlying problem of credibility.
History.
Yeah, yes, yes.
What is the occupancy?
There are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 residential apartments.
And the space, what,
Oh,
I don't,
well, the space, and there are some discrepancies in the application. The space is about 45, each floor is about 4,500 square feet, give or take a few hundred square feet. The permitted occupancy, and Joan, you may correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 162 for the ground floor and 6 for the basement. But I mean, then you can read an article in Vogue about the biggest party, the biggest Tommy Hilfiger party of the year, when it was Fashion Week a year ago.
So, any committee members have any thoughts?
Sympathy to the name. I think we stand with you guys and we want to support you in any way we can.
Karen, don't you think they need a lawyer?
But I think they desperately need a lawyer.
I think you need,
No, I mean, I'm not offering my services because it's not exactly what I do. But yes, you need a lawyer. Somebody to threaten them, somebody to threaten the loss of whatever lease they have, damages for the diminution of value of your apartments, nuisance for the noise and vibration.
So you're here. I would suggest within the next month, they're gonna come before us in December. And I want us to all be prepared, all right? Before it all goes to the SLA. There's nobody here from Maxwell. We did not, in all fairness, I did not invite Maxwell's. Because I purposely, Francis and I spoke, and we thought we would want to hear from the group first and the neighbors. So my suggestion is with your neighbors and everybody to at least see if you can get a decent lawyer to help you. Maybe Karen can give you some names. I would, my thought is one of our most difficult lawyers who's a tiger. But I think you need somebody who's aggressive and knows the community. All right? Very much so. Yes.
Something that goes to last things, right? The disingenuity of it is that, well, first of all, this place came out of nowhere. We had no idea as neighbors that this was happening. We heard rumors of a social club, we just didn't have a lot of understanding of what was happening. So we thought, oh, maybe that'll be kind of a quiet thing, right? No idea it's event space. But in speaking with the people from Maxwell, it turns out, I said, well, if you're operating an event space, you have to take the responsibility for managing what happens in event space and around it and the neighbors, being a good neighbor. And he said, we're not an event space. And I said, well, you may not be an event space, but you're effectively acting as an event space. And so there is a workaround, from my understanding, and someone should fact check this, that so members can use the space, right? You need to be a member to be there. But if you want to throw an event there, you don't have to be a member. You can pay the membership fee, right? Which, if you're throwing an event, it's going to be nominal. And then you can have your event there. So it's a workaround to an event space. without, I don't know if there's a special event licensing or what that has to happen, but I just wanted to mention that. And there are noise ordinances, as far as I'm aware, in New York City.
Is it illegal? Is it illegal?
What?
An event, I mean, don't they have?
Sorry, I'm not.
If you're an event space.
Yeah.
Don't you have to register somewhere as an event space?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think formally you need a cabaret license and that's no longer.
That's true. Well, the city is wild, what can I tell you? Anyway,
Susan, can
Yes,
I say something else? I just want to say that with regards to your suggestion that maybe there could be a compromise, I went through the MEND program, as I wrote to you, and I did, which is the New York City offered mediation program between businesses and residents. And I spent 3 hours in a mediated meeting with them, and with David and with Kyle, the two owners. And they are, I don't use the word liar lightly, but they lie like a rug, both of them. And you can ask the most straightforward questions, as Jonathan mentioned, and they will lie directly to your face. So it's very difficult to go into a negotiation with a party that is not trustworthy. I wouldn't believe anything that they say. And when they come to this committee in December, you can believe that David Litwack will be extremely charming and will be very well spoken, but don't believe a word that he says. He lied to you before, he will lie again. And there's no negotiation. But let me ask you, does the state liquor authority ever revoke a license?
Once in a blue moon.
once in a blue moon, I could sing a song, once in a blue moon. This, it could set a precedent.
Not a legit, I'm gonna say, just using the word legitimate business, it's like a workaround, like you said, it's not anything that's really official and established, so I think, in the long run.
Well, Karen has something to say, and then,
Well, the fact that people feel that they can't trust a negotiation certainly leads me to think that the only thing to do is to at least threaten litigation. And if that doesn't get somebody's attention, you'll have to go through with it. There really isn't another alternative. I mean, unless you want to picket in front of the building, from a certain hour to try to scare people away or to photograph them going in, that kind of thing.
Why are there even stipulations with a liquor license if it doesn't matter if a business will uphold them?
Francis just asked, and we're gonna do a little due diligence. We're gonna ask Commissioner Fahn and company what it is, what would make them revoke the liquor.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some information. Right.
Would it be wise that they hire someone that is a
Where are we?
lawyer that?
Yeah, oh, of course.
We wanna get
just-
information.
Oh, okay.
We need to get that information to them, because I think it would
Yeah.
be very.
It's critical. I would like to hear from everybody, but I can't tonight. And so is there somebody that is dying to speak who I haven't called on from the group? Okay, yes, tell me your name, please.
My name is Lakshmi. I really don't have anything to do with this, but I do have past experience in dealing with the SLA.
Yeah.
I am a retail wine shop owner, so I've been on the other side. The best way to get heard by the SLA is to show up, ask for a full board meeting, hire your lawyer, and show up for the meeting. And not all of you can speak, they won't allow it, but if you show force and say,
Yeah.
this is our grievance.
We have been, I am committing us to go with them. We have done it before. SLA has not revoked any license here so far, but they have made concessions. They'll listen when we go, but you have to have a lawyer. I really can't stress it enough.
If they get it to 10 o'clock, I mean, I think that everyone would be happy.
Well, I don't know whether they'd be happy, but they'd be
Well,
happy.
USLA, if they say 10 o'clock, done,
Yeah.
I think that's.
So
that's-
my suggestion is, oh, Tammy,
I know.
my boss has something to say. Tammy. Unmute.
I'm not the boss, I'm just the community chair. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, I agree with what everybody has said. And if we want action, unfortunately, the SLA needs documentation. That's what they rely on every time we have a conversation with them. They say, well, we don't see the 311, we don't see the 911. So at every point, at any and every point, whether it is blocked entrances, whether it is people at 2 o'clock in the morning, no matter what it is, you need to be filing reports. They need to be able to see it as a hot spot, both with NYPD and quality of life and at every point. I know that sounds like perhaps to some like shrugging of responsibility, but that is what the community does. The community board is we're also responsive to the community through what we see on 311 and 911. So for this particular place, just keep filing reports. Just keep filing. And not one person, not two person, but if it's affecting everybody in the building, everybody in the building should be filing reports.
And you can call the police. If it's bad, call the police.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Please. And then make sure we get the reports here.
Correct.
So they file with the SLA, who do they file the
They
report?
put that 311, they call the police, they get a police report, we get it all. That's what has to happen. It's a sluggish system at best, but we will try to do what we can. And you can come back, inform us, we're here, and they will come in or they are supposed to show up in December. We will ask them to show up.
And I also,
Yeah, go
Susan,
on,
I
Tammy.
think it also speaks volumes of the community's willingness to work with the operator, that you went through a mend process and that nothing has changed. That should also be documented for the SLA
Yes.
in whatever letter and follow-up, you know, that you went through a mend process, promises, you know, for better behavior were made, and it shows that you have done the steps available to the community. And therefore call on the SLA to make their final steps. And I think that that sends a strong message.
These are all such good ideas. I would say that I have been in direct communication with Joe Finelli, the Director of Enforcement at SLA for the last 6 months, and including giving him the results of the MEND mediation session. And I should just say that I filed a Freedom of Information Act, in fact, 2 of them, in order to see what the SLA had and what they had done. They had nothing because it took more than 2 months for them to file a single complaint in the Maxwell's file. And so I had to give them the email addresses of everyone that I knew about who had sent them in complaints or 311 call documentations. So they're really a slow organization, I would say. So
Which is why it's really important to report it online, call 311, get all those numbers. It's sad that the burden goes on you, but you have to look at it this way. Every night they close and they do their due diligence as a business normally would. They do their inventory, they get all their ducks in the row. They're not concerned about the community, and our business is the community. So it's about reporting online through the apps, getting the numbers, sending them in, updating SLA on the MEND process in an official written manner, because that's foilable. Phone calls are not.
Everything that I've done has been in writing.
Send anything written to us. Send anything written to us, to Onesh, so we have it, all right? Unless anybody has something super different to say, I'm gonna let all of you go home, and thank you, but we would love to see you get a lawyer and come with that lawyer. And if you want to come to the meeting before December and inform us, we're here for you in every which way. I can't thank you enough, and I'm very sorry. I really am. I wish we had much more power than we do. Even though I was born on Mussolini's birthday, I have no power.
Susan, thank you so much. You've been so great, and Tammy, you as well.
Yeah, we have a great community board here and a good chair and all my members. They really are pretty fabulous. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, now we're gonna follow our agenda.
Yes.
90 Chambers. Artesano.
Yes.
Okay. Let me put this away.
Oh, we should send that right next year.
I will look at it. You can start. I'm trying to find. Right.
But this is for.
Shouldn't
I got it's already just. Yeah.
you? It's a method of operation.
What's your time now?
So we have Monday to Friday from 12,
Okay. you wanna go
Monday to
and
Thursday,
go to one.
Monday to Thursday, 12 from Friday, Saturday to 1, and Sunday we have 10. And we are asking to extend our license on to 2 a.m.
So actually, we don't request for 2 a.m. Probably there was a mistake right now. So basically what we're looking for is, as a previous meeting, we promised that we're gonna be in there. It was actually our main goal is to be part of the Michelin Guide. Right now we got so far to start for New York Times and that was running by Keith. We was featuring more than 16 articles in these last 2 years. We promised that we're gonna come back in 6 months. We come back after 2 years. We don't got any complaint for now. It's actually our music is super ambiental. So we are not fine dining restaurant, but we kind of go as like a higher restaurant. It's open kitchen and it's just tasting menus most of the time. So the reason why we ask it for 2 a.m. is because we got 2 to 3 sittings, especially in the weekends. In those sittings is over 2 hours most of the time because some clients probably they order a bottle of wine and it's not enough time, especially when we finish the last sitting, which is at 9:10. Sometimes we get up to 1:10, 1:30. So we want to ask for enough time to at least complete the 3 cities, especially when it comes to services.
So originally, I just want to, so my committee knows, you were 10 to 10 on Sunday,
Correct.
correct? 10 to 12, Monday to Thursday.
Right.
And Friday and Saturday, we gave you to 1 a.m.
That's
Right.
correct.
Okay? So what you were asking in this is for 2 a.m. every day.
That's correct.
Sharon, I'm going to let you speak. How's that?
Okay, so,
We are,
yeah, sorry, please.
just want to say like we are very good with the neighborhood. We have no problem with
Yeah.
lanes. We are also hosting.
No, not on there.
We have been hosting a lot of charity events for Shades of Tribeca. We are hosting this Sunday the Friends of Family Joint Park event. They selected us this year to host the dinner for them for over 200 people at the Joint Park. And we got, over a lot of, we've been on Good Morning America with like more like nice.
Do you have an outside space?
We have small outdoor space.
How many?
We got four tables outside.
Only four.
So we did get a complaint
About that.
about that in terms of the outdoor space and the noise.
when do you close the outdoor space?
So basically our plan is because for the regulations for DOT, so the structure have to be different, and no restriction like the old structure. So we're gonna plan to move by the end of November.
We plan to
probably.
remove the outdoor.
And we're gonna probably, we're not sure, but we probably gonna come back next year, we just for the summertime, but just during the.
I'm okay with it. It's only one complaint and it's a small area, but it's a warning. We're gonna put it in a situation.
All right.
Are there any residential units in your building or the buildings next to you?
Looks like above.
Uh,
Yes, above us, there's residential. And most of them are, very happy with us and everybody's just, they come, hang out with, enjoy the food and.
Well, we're not just talking about the tables, we're talking about the whole place.
Right, so my question is, I have a good amount to unpack here, so my question is not just the building. Tribeca people, help me out here. Church and chambers, what's the residential of that block? Because that's what we're talking about here.
It's actually in some parts, it's fairly heavy.
Yeah.
There's a very large residential building on the southwest corner of
Which
the
is-
intersection.
That's
Yeah, it's
right.
on Church, right on Church. and
Brand new,
Right on that corner.
a brand new residential building.
No, I'm talking about what was the old state office building that was converted.
Okay.
Oh,
So there's that one, and there are a lot of other right in that immediate intersection, like above the pizza place, for instance.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, above, in all that area, because, you have Lot Less, you have City MD, there's a European Wax Center, Dunkin' Donuts, all that there. So above all those places, they are residences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby.
I live on Chambers, I pass by you guys all the time, great establishment. They don't make a ton of noise, it's very like ambient music, and there's not a drinking crowd that's like stumbling out. I do have a problem with your outdoor shed, it gets really junky, sometimes you guys pile up chairs when you're not using it, so take care of that in November. I don't think you're getting 2 AM on Sunday, but
No.
No,
You did. No way.
Yeah, not that.
I will, if the committee agrees, till 2 AM, but not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday.
Tammy, you have anything to say?
I was a little unclear about what they said about their outdoor. So do they have an active application that they filed for outdoor dining or roadbed?
So actually we did, but we got a inspection for the DOT, and the reason why we're not planting this year is because we plan to remove it. We're gonna do so much.
So they're gonna remove it, and the way I understand it, and they're gonna come back to us for this.
So here's the gig. They will come back for revocable consent for the outdoor, but we should opine and comment, since they are here now for extended hours, with the notice of what our outdoor restriction would be. In case, when they get to the SLA and they say, we've decided we're not doing roadbed, we just have 4 tables outside, I don't think that anybody in the community would be comfortable with 4 tables outside the restaurant open serving liquor till 2 AM.
Correct.
So I would suggest that we have the dialogue about the liquor license portion of the outdoor and put that in so it's there. And that way, if they do have whatever the SLA process is at that time, they already have our notes on record. Especially if it's only 4 tables, they may not send him back to the community board. Because you said you're not doing roadbed at all?
Yeah, so actually for the outdoor, we got the last call, the last sitting is at 9 PM, so basically people living around 10.
Yeah, we don't serve outdoor after 10 or 10:30, and we just keep it inside.
Yeah, so.
Perfect. Then there should be no objections to having the modified hours listed for outdoor, right?
makes sense, hour and a half.
Okay, we'll give you 10:30
Outside?
outside.
So this is again, the last sitting is at 9. So actually the biggest reason why we are extending is because we don't want take out our customers. Because even if they finish the experiences, they stay there. So we don't wanna just keep the last call as a reservation for 9:30, which is we got right now. And after that, most of the time, nobody's there. And everybody probably business can pass by, and the outdoor always is empty. So we want to allow inside most of the time. So if you can leave outside, let's say 11:30, we could be okay.
11 o'clock Thursday through Saturday.
Outside.
Yeah,
Thursday to Saturday.
and what,
Try to save some bar seats for them after that.
and what about Sunday to Wednesday, Sunday, I like 10, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Monday to Wednesday?
Why not just give them the whole week, Monday to Saturday, and just restrict Sunday outside? Just
Okay.
curious.
You
Monday
got
to
it.
Saturday. So what time?
11.
11?
Outside.
Outside?
Outside.
Okay, I was confused.
And Sunday, 10 o'clock, inside and out.
Inside and out,
Well,
I mean, on the honest, inside is gonna affect us a lot, because as I say, our lunch reservation is at 9:30 most of the
do you
time.
have a big crowd on Sunday?
No,
We're like, more like restaurant atmosphere, we're not a club, or like, people come, enjoy the food, we have amazing review from the
Sure.
Beach Well, everybody come try the experience, and we have like a tasting menu that is like 2-hour experience, and then we give all of our customer like, really good experience, so they stay and enjoy the food. We don't put no loud music, it's just a very like background music,
Okay.
more like focus
Wait,
on the food.
Jack, no matter. So what are we going to do Monday through, Sunday through indoors? Sunday through Thursday, yeah, and Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Gabby, those of you who live, what do we want indoors? They had 1 a.m.
On Sunday?
On Sunday, I wouldn't give them. I'm sorry.
You're asking for 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday?
no, we ask for 2 a.m. every Saturday.
I'm sorry.
That's really,
No.
it's really desolate that area. It's a financial
They
district. I
have
don't
1
really see that
a.m.
many people
now.
around
Look
that
what
time.
they have. They
Not
have,
on
we
Chambers
were
Street.
very gracious, if I'm not mistaken, about being gracious. Which is not my want. Anyway, so we're gonna give you Sunday. At what time, Gabby?
11 for a 2-hour seating.
What's the current time for Monday through Friday?
Outside is 11.
Can we do 12 on Sunday?
Monday through Fridays,
No,
what time are you guys up Monday through Friday?
10:30.
Monday through Friday,
Yeah, we gave
what,
you
1 o'clock? What do you have right now?
We have 12, Monday to Thursday, 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and 10 p.m. on Sundays.
Give them, Susan, how about an extra hour on each day?
So
They get
let
their
me.
2 a.m. They
I
get
got it.
They get their 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Okay,
I'm happy with that.
And then 1 a.m. on other days and 11 p.m. on Sunday.
fine.
So,
Indoors.
or can I say something, please?
You may better ten cuidado.
So I really appreciate it, and actually I'm agree with the rest of the days, but to be honest, we really need on Sundays. We can agree with 1 extra hour and thank you for that, I believe it's perfect. But on Sundays, we really need work with that day. So basically, those Sundays, actually, it's a few people, financial district was mentioned because there's a lot of people living in the area. And we got like 3 weeks of reservation most of the time, and we set this menus. Some people is moving to other areas to give into us.
What's the last evening on Sunday? You said start at 9:30?
Outside 9:30, on last city, most of the time, but the menus is at 10:30, 11.
10:30.
That's why we
Start
don't.
at 10:30.
Yes.
No, I'm not getting,
What
no,
The same thing every single
no,
day.
no. So you
So-
gotta compromise.
Sundays.
We could do it at 1 p.m. At 1
Sundays gotta
a.m.
be
Sundays, and Fridays and Saturdays, and we.
I don't understand. No, here we are, all right? Don't be, don't, I was gonna say Spanish, don't be, I think we're willing, which is really,
1 hour each.
what we don't like to do. We're willing to give you till
For now.
12 on Sunday.
Sunday.
So take it, come on.
And then you could always,
Okay?
then you could always come back,
Thank you.
make sure we don't get any.
All right,
Gracias.
all right, okay, can I, so, second.
Second.
So-
Can we just clarify something?
Yeah. Clarify.
Yeah, before we go, let's know what
Yeah,
we're voting.
so
Okay,
indoors, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 1. Friday through Saturday, 10 to 2. Sunday 10 to 12 a.m. Outdoor, ending at 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, Sunday at 10 p.m.
Correct.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you so much.
so the question was called and seconded.
Yep.
Do you have a question?
No.
All in favor?
Are we?
Joel?
Yes. In favor.
Okay, Joe, we're fine then. No.
Tammy, are you voting?
Nope, I'm just here for the cheer. I'd say a beer, but there's no beers here. Sorry. Just here for the cheer.
I thank you so much.
Okay, next one. 380 Canal Street. Who is here?
Carrie Parker Davidson had her hand up. She's in the attendee section. I apologize. I don't know if anybody saw it.
Who is she?
She's a public member on CB1. She serves on transportation.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I know exactly.
And she lives over on Duane.
It's it's that
Will you
corner of the
comment?
palace
We'll
that used to be
I'm not, thank you, Candy, I appreciate it. I was just gonna speak
Please.
up in support of Artisano, and I'm happy with the Sunday adjustment till midnight, because I am one of those late arrivals on Sunday. And it's my favorite Sunday supper spot, and I think they've been a terrific neighbor.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to put that on the record.
Welcome.
Okay, 380.
Take it away. You get to.
My name is Terry Flynn, I'm the attorney for the applicant.
We know you.
So this is a, yes, the transfer application is the existing premise, this has been operating since 2018. They are selling the business to the new applicant here. The new applicant wants to keep everything the same as far as operation and everything else, and adhere by the previous stip that you entered into with the existing licensee, which was attached to the packet that I given in. Anybody needs it, I have an additional one here. So we really don't want to change anything at all except the ownership, with the new owners coming in on the sale and adhering to the exact stipulation that you provided to the previous applicant. Licensor.
When was the last, I don't have it in front of me.
Sure,
There.
2018, and we've been here. That's a copy of the previous stipulation.
So this is the intersection of West Broadway and Canal.
Yes.
Alright, I'm very familiar with this place. I used to work at Soho Grand Hotel
Oh, okay.
over there, so. Remember when it used to be called Canal
I can't picture it.
a long time ago? Yeah.
Neither can I, is that funny?
Oh,
So we're asking for, these are the asking numbers,
this is the old,
right? This is what you're asking for.
That's good. It's good now.
This is what's current.
Show me.
this is
12
the,
a.m. 1 a.m.
That's the
No,
old.
that's the old trailer.
yeah, this is the old SLB space. Sounds
So, yeah.
now, yeah, okay. This is a very large space.
No, this was, you're mistaken. This used to be the old canal room,
Canal.
Ah,
right on, right here.
You're a large venue,
Haven't been
so
there
we
since.
now have, from 2018, we have a different, large venue stipulation, Terry. Right? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And if it's different in format.
Well, it's
Yeah,
addition.
you included it in the.
In the packet, okay.
do you want to picture this?
It's only 60, so.
You guys operate as a resident during the daytime?
Actually.
But Sundays, 8 p.m.
Sounds of Brazil.
So that's new.
That's the one.
So this is like maybe.
Okay, so that's only when there's events.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out to take a look.
12, yes. They're gonna open.
Oh, so it's gonna be like a full service restaurant.
Not like.
Not full service.
Restaurant.
Are you, wait, stop it, so we can understand. Are you a bar or you're a full-service restaurant?
No,
You're not-
we're a lounge.
A lounge.
We're a lounge. They've always been a lounge. It's always been a lounge at this location. There was a food menu that we gave you. It meets the minimum food
I
requirements.
don't have the full application,
Oh.
so I don't. I'm kind of working on the fast pace. That's not,
Here, let me give you.
no, they haven't. They're transferred and I. Okay.
Why
Madam
can't
Chair.
you not picture?
When there's not a event during the afternoon, what time will you start? What time do you start a regular day? What time do you-
We wanted to open at 12 o'clock,
Okay,
just for us to prepare, get ready, but yeah, afternoon.
okay, so afternoon onward, so if I show up at 12:05 PM, you'll be open, I can go have a drink there,
We'll be open to have a drink and.
whatever.
But no music, right?
All right.
Cappuccino.
Clarification.
This sounds reasonable. This whole thing sounds reasonable. Like when you cross, come up the street. So really? I don't think. Where's the post on it?
Yeah.
So can you point to exactly where QA is?
So, I just have a couple of questions. Do you have, big events? What do you have?
So basically what we're trying to do, so just to give you a little information about myself. Banker for over 25 years. I've worked with a lot of in the hospitality business for a long time. I'm really looking to, my kids are all older, I'm single and able to kind of make this a reality for me. To do some events. I do a lot of networking. Well, I do a lot of networking in communities. I've been in the paper several times for women in construction, women in leadership. So I'm just looking to be able to do this in an event like this, where we're gonna, clean it up. It's gonna have nice seating, things like that in the space. I know it.
So, when you have an event, how many people do you think you will have at an event? You tell me that the dining area is 50 and the bar area is 10, but the public assembly is 299. So when you have an event, you will have 300 people.
Well, we'll have 299 or less for sure, because that's.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
max.
that's.
And what we're also looking to do is put the building the way it was originally. So the bar right now is in the middle. We're looking to move it over, so this way there's more space around the sides. Yeah, and I did put the building back.
It's gonna be a lounge bar.
But what do you do? You have like seating for like 60 people. What do you do with the other couple of hundred?
That used to be dancing.
Where they just stand around?
Currently, there is dancing. There will be music. There will be some events where you can just kind of stand and interact. Like I said, I do a lot of networking, so that's pretty much trying to bring in networking events and things like that into the community.
So there'll be a stage and a presentation?
No stage, not like a stage and presentation, but there will be an area. Yeah, there'll be an area where you can.
Somebody can do a presentation,
Yeah,
you have screens, you have TVs and stuff?
No TVs, but presentations.
No.
It's not gonna be like a stand with a microphone and a presentation. But there will be an area where we can do presentations and things like that.
So I couldn't come there and talk to 200 people.
You could.
Then I would have a microphone.
You would have a microphone, yeah, but you're not gonna have like a podium.
No podium.
Yeah, exactly.
So Terry, are the hours till 4 AM existing now?
The hours are the same as that stipulation that I gave you. And right now, they're 4 AM on the weekends and 2 AM during the week, and a lesser hour on Sunday.
Hey, can you share that stip? I'm like sort of gobsmacked that something like that was signed. Sorry. Can you share that on screen?
2018.
2018.
I was in the head of the committee.
There's no time on this.
Yeah, the STIP This is a part of the stipulation, it's dated in May of 2000.
You have live
Right.
read, there's no time. Live read.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Wonderful.
Here's the step.
No
Here's
staff,
the
but
step.
Right? You don't remember the smokestack was lightning many years ago. Kind of like a crazy place. That's the old
Yeah,
days.
so we're pretty much looking to the printer the way it originally was.
So,
Yes, I mean, that's copy.
I see.
I know you want to copy.
you should read so long. But I don't know whether we have it from 2000. I mean, really, it's hard to do.
There should have also.
So I have to get, I can't get in my head. What is the concept? I gotta understand. That's all I did. I wasn't chair. Jeff had me notarize. He threw it over and I notarized. It's my handwriting, I know that. So what are you a club? What are you? I can't wrap my head around.
They're gonna operate the same way with a lounge operation, with the only thing that they're doing differently is that they're gonna have a lot of networking events, things like that, empowerment events for women in place when they're not operating as a lounge. So they don't know how many events they're gonna have. But those events aren't gonna be the late night.
We have to know how many events we're gonna have. We're gonna limit you this first year. Don't even try it. We're gonna absolutely do something. Go.
So I mean, I haven't been there in a long time. I remember going to East Canal Room.
Wait.
So I remember when it was Canal Room, I haven't been there in a long time, but it was before it was a full service club, basically. There was the bathrooms were downstairs, if I remember correctly. And they had a DJ and it was a full service club. I know I've passed by there quite a few times and it seems like it's a younger crowd. I want to say like college crowd. I've always seen like they have, they usually have a lot of the kids outside on the streets, during some certain hours, I guess when they're kind of trying to get into the club. The only,
Do they have a rope line?
They do have a rope line.
They have a rope line?
They do have a rope line, and I remember they are quite loud. I mean, Soho Grants across the street, they have theirs a little bit more organized too as well. They are residencies above, so there's a building up there, there's some offices, and on that whole block where, in the corner where Nancy Whiskey Pub, there's another restaurant there as well.
Yeah, Pepperino.
Yes.
And we've been, the current operation's been there for 6 years and they haven't got any violations during the 6 years.
They're next to Pepperino's?
No.
What's the name of the current operation?
Yeah, it's up the street.
It's up the street.
North end of that same block.
So what's it currently called?
The Pirates.
The Palace.
It's called the Palace. Yeah.
The Palace?
It used to be Sounds of Brazil. They moved downtown.
Or that was Oyster Bar or something, Oyster something. It was a restaurant, I remember.
I have to say, you don't own it yet. Am I correct? No, it's.
Did we do closing? No.
No. Nice cat. I know where it is.
Put people outside.
Yeah.
Where they're queues. So are there queues every night for the lounge? I mean, it's a dance environment, huh?
Yeah.
Well, committee, don't make me be the bad guy. What do you want to do?
I'm uncomfortable with those hours for something that I'm not clear on. In terms of what kind of structured events are you gonna have there? Just networking and.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, Tammy, go on, and then Terry.
And there's somebody named Eliza, by the way, who has her hand up in the public. I'd like to ask the applicant on a public assembly capacity of 299, if you're doing events, and you're saying that there's not going to be embedded and built-in audio-visual services in-house, that means everything has to be rented and brought in, because any event that is done needs some kind of, if you've got a public assembly for $299, you're gonna need a podium and mic and sound, and somebody's gonna need something. I don't care if it's a luncheon or whatever, they're not just hollering at one end. What is the plan for load in and load out? What kind of storage do you have?
You want to, the storage?
Do you have capacity on site to do any audiovisual storage, or will that be up to the event, the particular events to bring in the AV? And if so, where are they loading in?
The idea is that when she has these events, they're gonna be mostly during the daytime. So they'll start at, while we're opening at 12, they'll start at 2 o'clock and fill in the days where really the most of the crowd here is from late afternoon on. This is gonna function as a lounge. It's always functioned. These events are only gonna happen during the days, and not many of them. She only expects 12 of them during the course of the year.
Then how are you gonna be able to?
Excuse me?
Go on, Jenny, ask your question.
The ROI on events is far higher on an ROI from a regular lounge. So events are a very profitable way to make money because you can charge a higher premium than, for example, an average restaurant or dining area. Secondary to that are bars. They make a lot more money. That's just the nature of the food and beverage industry. So I'm a little confused how you're going to be able to make a living by just having a lounge area with a dining area of 50 people in a space that holds 300 without saying, okay, well, you're going to have to do events. I mean, it's just a reasonable assumption that events will be part of it. And that's fine. Just be straight and say, we're going to do events. But when you do events, you're saying that they are not going to be able to put in rounds or theater style that'll accommodate 200 people, that it's only going to be the lounge furniture that's there and never any changes?
Yeah, so let's go back to the first part of your statement. The lounge that's been here for the last 6 years has done very well and made money and coexisted in its neighborhood without any problem. He's selling it because he has 2 new restaurants that he's going to uptown, and he's putting all his time in there. That's why he's selling this business. And he's selling it for a good dollar, so you can make money just running this as a lounge. This applicant, because of her background, wants to run these networking events during the day. Depending on the networking event, most of the time, they'll bring in their AV equipment and everything else. We won't keep it stored on premise. They'll bring in what they need. We're not going to physically change the premise for any of these AV events. We're not going to change the seating. We may only add chairs, just chairs, for people to sit in around or in front of, on the sides of the speaker, depending on the event. Once the event is over and the networking is finished, those chairs will go out and it'll go back to its original setup. This is only something that's going to be done once a month on average, okay? Going to be 2 1 month and none another month? Yes, especially during the summer. You may not have one in July or August, but there'll only be 12 a year.
Well, that's what we would put in the.
Yes, that's fine.
So the rest, I don't know, I may be fed. I still can't, one of you explain it.
They're gonna operate it the same as it's
Okay.
currently being operated. She wants to help bring in additional income by having events during the day, which I don't think anybody
None
has
of
an
us,
issue.
I don't have any problem.
Let's move on.
I think as long as there's no one
Yeah.
complaints on the existing lounge and the neighborhood is fine with the existing lounge and you're gonna operate it the same, then I don't think.
Sorry, I have a complaint. I'm remote and I have a complaint from the neighborhood.
Let's the lady online speak.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. But I live across the street and I've approached the owner several times with my complaints. I'm told I'm the only one, that it really doesn't matter and that I should call him every time the bass is too thumping. The bass thumps all night long. They used to be open a lot more. Now they're only open 3 nights a week. I don't know acoustically. I've definitely met other people on the block who are, were CB2. So I actually didn't even know that this was happening initially when the Oyster place shut down. We've been here 30 plus years. Yes, it's been a club many times before, but the Palace came in and put in very loud sound system that throbs, and similar to the Maxwell situation, when people spill out at 3:45, it's honking. There's a lot of noise on this street, and it's really difficult for me and my family.
Thank you.
Are you keeping the existing sound systems and things like that?
We are
I
keeping.
mean, it was part of the assets listed in the contract. Yeah.
Are you planning on putting in additional soundproofing or prevention measures to?
The premise was sound. So again, this is the first time I'm hearing anything like this. There haven't been any violations issued in 6 years. So this is the first time I'm hearing this. I will go back and check about the sound, but they did soundproof the premise.
They always do it, never work.
I have to know what you're gonna upgrade to. I'm old. I'm not a lounge person anymore. I was past. I just don't, I still can't help you.
Yeah, and I think the concern is also the outdoor queuing and folks coming out late at night. I know Lucia's is open up late across the street, so people kind of spilling over Canal and making a lot of noise. So I think we would also want to see some sort of like outdoor security or just making sure that people are leaving and not causing a scene or disturbance.
Well, they are having security. There's no question about that. License with security.
I think the issue is soundproofing and making sure that you're a good neighbor, and if people are having issues with it, then we don't see. Yeah.
Well,
and then the hours have to be amended.
Yeah, the hours have to be amended because once we give them to you, we're screwed. Pardon I know, but I'm not, we are not gonna get 4 a.m. 2 a.m. on Sunday. You can go there SLA, Terry. I know you will, but it's okay, but I just think there are people living there. That's part of the problem.
I understand that, but I find it impossible for you to justify why you granted these hours, and now you're saying you're gonna change the hours.
Because we don't know you. We don't know.
That's not a valid criteria as far as the information.
So let's remind you, things changed after COVID.
Right.
Our things,
Yeah.
that's what we did.
100%.
We're giving 10 PM on Sundays. Now, maybe we go a little later here, but we're not giving you 4 AM.
Right. It's not just.
But I think they wanted-
You're not getting 4 AM, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah, one every night.
No, it's not 4 a.m. every night, just so we're clear.
And I just want to
This says.
point out,
Let him finish. Please, Terry, go on.
It's 2 a.m. from Monday to Wednesday. It's 4 a.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then I believe it's back to 2 a.m. on Sunday is what you originally gave us, yes.
What was the original corporation? Tell me, what was it called? Who were they?
St. Heliers is you talking about the current licensee is St. Heliers?
St. Helens Tavern.
Yes.
Jane.
I share your concern about not really knowing what kind of animal we are really dealing with here. I keep thinking about a Saturday Night Live skit where they would have a foam product and they said it's a floor wax and a food topping. You don't quite know what the heck you're dealing with. And what concerns me about what's changed in our community is not only with COVID, but we now have an influx of dormitories from NYU and from PACE that has brought a lot of young people living down here. And the other day I walked by a new liquor store on Broadway, and they had a little sandwich sign, and they talked about student discounts and college kids. It was written on the sign, and I'm thinking, a lot of college kids, how many of them are 21? you know, I mean, a lot of them are not. And clearly this is, you know, enticement. I also am concerned that not only do we have many, many more young people down here, particularly in that area with NYU and Pace, but also there, the Lower East Side, has just gotten so oversaturated with their issues. And I worry about the spillover coming to Tribeca. So until I understand really what this place is, I'm very concerned about the hours and I'm very concerned about the activity. I would be very unwilling to do the 4 AM. And I wish I had a better idea of what the place.
There's four. I think it's in the application. The music is going to be both live, recorded, and with a DJ, 8 speakers with subwoofers.
That was originally approved by you.
That maybe, but that is not consistent with a lounge.
Yes. That is a lounge. That's the definition of a lounge.
To me, it's not.
Okay.
Debbie?
I would also say that the address is a little tricky, like the previous caller said, it's so close to Community Board 2 and we don't know what all the neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, from my standpoint, I don't know what you want me to do. I have to notify.
I know. And, Daron, you have an idea?
Well, no, I think we're gonna reduce the hours here. That's what we're doing.
I think
what we're recommending.
that's what we're gonna recommend, Terry. And certainly, if you don't sign the stiff, we will send a letter and whatever to the SLA. We'll go to the SLA, but I think, not that we don't want you to be successful. There've been problems, there've been some issues, and we want to make sure, remember, we're much more populated even than 2018. It's different, and people want to live in some sort of peace. Not that I don't trust you won't do it, but I don't know you. We don't know you, and we.
My vision, honestly, my vision really is to help the community, if anything, because that's, I spend a lot of my free time in community. And in Queens chapter, I'm in the Queens chapter as well.
I don't doubt it. It's the issue for all of us is the question of control. Terry knows, he's been around us for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse, not better. I mean, not worse, not better.
I understand about the campaign. Just with the exception of the woman who I'm sure has had her conversations with the existing licensee. I don't know of any other violations of the issue. I can only go by what I know of the violations. I would like to address the fact, just because there are young people in your cities that have been since the beginning of time, doesn't mean we're gonna start serving minors or anything else like that.
I understand.
That wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. So-
No, I,
That's all, we're looking at the opportunity as it increases itself, and then there's a lot of Airbnbs, and we get people that are, a lot of those apartments are being rented out under those circumstances, and people are coming here and they don't know what our rules are, and they don't care.
so I'm gonna go to Gabby and Daron, my two youngest. Yes.
2 AM.
Yeah.
For what, for every day?
I'm willing
Not
to do
Sunday.
that.
Not Sunday.
That's
mean,
right. Not
I mean,
Sunday. I'll give you, you mean Thursday through?
I think we should give them Friday and Saturday. I mean, I don't mind 4 AM to Friday, Saturday, but maybe the other days we can come to.
No, I think, Vincent, this is my view,
Mhm.
right? And I think, maybe that I'm willing to go to 2 AM, not Sunday. Sunday we'll have to
No,
deal
Sunday
with
would
it.
be-
But I would go to 2 AM and I would let them come back in a year. I'm sorry, you know what I think. You're not Australia, but it's a different, I mean, you know, I understand.
The only thing I want to point out is just before you were worried about affecting the value of other people's assets because if somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. This current owner's done everything he was supposed to do, and now you're affecting the value of his asset. Because I can assure you, if you change his hours down, you'll affect the entire purchase price of the business. So, you know, just just understand that point, because you made it on one side before. and now you're running away from it on the other side.
Well, it's a good argument, but it may be temporary.
I'm an old contract, I'm not looking to
Contracts now. Everybody knows the contracts now. We can't do
Wait a
a
minute.
kicker.
Did I
3 years.
understand, wait a second. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought we had a compromise here, so listen to me, everybody. I thought Monday to Wednesday, it was till 2 AM.
Okay.
Tell me what it is Thursday through Saturday. Were we gonna give them 2 days or 3 days till 4 AM, or were? we
No.
gonna
No,
Not yet.
no, no 4 AM,
go- No, 4.
no 4 AM.
So what are we deciding on? What, are we gonna reduce an hour by an hour? Want to reduce everything by an hour?
Which, talk to me.
I said, do you want to reduce everything by an hour then?
Well, I give them 2 AM, I don't.
Oh, you want to do 2 AM across the board,
Except Sunday.
except for Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, that's my feeling.
That's what I've written down. I think it's reasonable. I don't think it was.
So what are we deciding on for Sunday then?
Well, Sunday I would give them till midnight.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, 2 AM, and if you don't sign the stiff, I'm going to the SL.
Quite see you there. I will knock you down. Thank you very much.
And what's Sunday?
West?
She said 12 AM.
12.
Yeah, 12 AM.
That's 12.
Call the question, have a second?
Second.
All right, so the way we understand it, it is Monday through Saturday from 2 AM and Sunday till midnight. Okay?
Do some, need to do some, they currently are from 4 o'clock to 2.
Yeah, we're doing it. Okay, I am, you can decide to do what you do. If you don't find the stick, we will go, we'll see it there.
Thank
Okay?
you so much for your time.
Uh-huh. No, I have to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Joel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favor?
Yeah, he's in favor.
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm opposed.
You're a bus, but.
Doesn't have to be me this time.
No,
People know what it is.
I do, I have an idea. I do, but it's beyond our, at least your own Vincent and Gabby. Thank God we have young people. Okay, the next one is, 179
Yeah.
Duane Street.
For not a full liquor license.
Well, you've been in business a long time, have you not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
32 and a half years.
Okay, yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, thank you.
Is this about a sidewalk cafe or a roadbed?
No.
No, this is for a tavern wine license.
What have you got now?
Nothing at the moment. So my name is Robert Hall. I'm representing Michael Kelly's office with the applicant, Madeline. This is a tavern wine application for Madeline's History, Inc., DBA.
This is.
I couldn't call the question and go on.
Yeah.
No.
All in favor?
Gabby
They
is
only went till 10,
Oh, no, that was.
No.
so it's good. I'm fine
Oh.
with
Thank you.
that. Fine.
And you can come in and have a dessert on a nice porch.
Thank you, Madeline.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yes, I mean, they've been there for decades.
413 Greenwich.
Sandwich shop. We open at 7 AM and close at 10 PM.
Do I have it
What are we
here?
looking at?
And the name is Olives.
Oh, that's Olive, okay.
We've operated Brookfield for 10 years, and we opted not to renew that lease, and we found 413 Branch, we think it's just gonna be a beautiful home, and matches what we've done, so.
Good, okay. Call the question.
Second.
I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, whatever she says. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
call the question.
Second.
Okay, all
Good
in
luck.
favor?
Good luck.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Tell you, at 10 o'clock works.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
345 Greenwich, that's Starbucks. You will tell.
45 Greenwich.
I think that's you.
Greenwich.
Is it they closed down?
Yeah, they just.
All right, I'm back again.
Oh, you're a busy guy.
We try to be. Give me 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. No. That's
Let's
Viet Cafe
update
next to Starbucks.
Corporation.
Used to be Viet Cafe.
Temporary
Wonder.
scale
Either.
permit.
It's right next to Sarah.
I don't know, ask.
So are they within the hotel?
Right. Talk to us.
Underneath,
Oh.
next to Sarah Beth's.
Sarah Beth's is adjacent to the hotel. So they're on the other side?
They're right next to Sarah. If you're looking at Sarah Beth's, they're on the
11 PM. This one.
Okay, I'm
We only need one.
Only one? Okay.
Chair.
No, I'm correct.
So very interesting.
Thank you.
It's totally different. Okay, I can give you something else. So, okay, here.
Okay,
All right. So once again, my name is Robert Hull with Mike Kelly's office, representing the applicants, Blissfully Hospitality. This is an OP premise liquor license application for Blissfully Hospitality LLC. We're located at 345 Greenwood Street between Harrison and J Street. The location was formerly occupied by Via Cafe, which had an OP license from at least 2009 until its recent closure. We're a full-service Thai restaurant. There are 20 tables with 58 seats and an 8-seat bar on the first floor. There's a basement that is for storage and refuse only. Our hours of operations are 12 PM to 11 PM, Monday through Saturday, and 12 PM to 10 PM on Sunday. We will have background music. There are no TVs. There is existing soundproofing. We will probably apply for the sidewalk seating and maybe roadway seating in a year, but at the moment, we don't have anything on Sunday.
do you have which I forgot to ask you, I didn't see it. Do you have ADA accessible bathroom?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we do. We have, so there are 3 bathrooms we have. One is ADA.
I remember reading it. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
The hours are early.
Yeah, call the question. Yes, second. All in favor? Goodbye, Robert.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And when are you guys opening?
Early December.
Early December. Okay.
Good luck. Come visit. Good. Come visit.
And just so you know, there are 4 owners, all 4 owners are in the hospitality business and they all do own or manage restaurants, so
Well, we're
they
looking
do
forward
have
to
the experience as well.
So there we are. Take care.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, 157, Dwayne. Montefo do Passa.
That sounds maybe Portuguese.
Yes.
You, is Brazilian.
Very good.
Where's this?
You don't need it, but.
Okay, thank you.
And one for you, there's one, it's, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have an attorney. So I had a restaurant in the West Village, Community Board number 2 for 25 years at the corner of Bedford and Commerce, like the most beautiful corner in the West Village. And I had this food liquor license for 25 years, never had any violations. The neighborhood is very, affluent, very quiet, all townhouses. And I was there for 25 years without any problems with my neighbors. So I actually live in Tribeca for 29 years. I live on Greenwich and Green. So I'm actually part of this community. And I never thought I was gonna open a restaurant again until I ran into this space. And then I decided it's just 2 blocks from my house. So I'm gonna reopen my restaurant in the West Village, in Tribeca. And, my hours are, up to 10:30.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because I don't think the neighborhood, needs, I think people eat early and.
Talk about sidewalk and road there.
Okay, so I'm not doing road anymore because of the new regulations. It's very expensive for me as a small business owner. So all I can do right now that the city allows me is sidewalk cafe. It's only 3 tables and 6 chairs. But I'm not applying this year because it's winter already, so I'm just waiting next year.
Okay, I see,
Is it what kind of food?
Brazilian, home cooking Brazilian for sale.
I see one little thing here. No, let's see, 66. All right, so, okay, she just barely under the large venue. And one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, my certificate of occupancy is 74 seats, but I actually took two large tables out. So it's not gonna be, just because of the size of the kitchen and everything else, I think that 62 seats will be enough to do one seating capacity.
but altogether, you have room for 73.
Yeah, 70%.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
So one of the things my alter ego has noticed is you do not have an ADA compliant bathroom.
Yes.
And that's critical.
Yeah, so what happens is, I took the restaurant for a previous tenant, he did 10 years in this space, and he had another 5 years. Those are my landlords, and they live, actually, they're residents above my restaurant at 157 Duane. So he had an issue with, I don't know if you remember, there was a time where people went around the restaurants and they were suing everybody. I had my restaurant in Westview, I never got sued, but he was actually sued once by a person that went in and said that, there was no ADA compliance bathroom. So he went to court and he proved that for him to be able to have this bathroom built, it was gonna cost like over $70,000. So he actually won in court that, it was a grandfather in bathroom. I mean, how many restaurants in New York, my restaurant house in the West Village was not able to do an ADA bathroom because we need like the 90-degree, angle.
I know, we know.
And all that. So, he's been through that already and he moved to court. I actually was one of the major things that I, asked him, like, if he had ever had an issue with this ADA. And he said he did, and he showed my attorney all the documents that,
So are you grandfathered? Is that what the attorney
Yeah.
told you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have that.
Yeah.
I would appreciate if you would send that to
Okay.
us, so we have it on record.
Okay.
And we can say that we approved you with this because you have this. and
Yeah.
You were grandfathered.
Yeah.
Yeah? Anything else?
Well, okay, the only other thing I noticed is that the building is residential
Yeah, they was above.
above you. Yeah, so let's hear from.
You have any trouble?
No, there's not. We've been in the building for like 15 years. To tell you the truth, we have more problems with the tenants on both sides. And people get along with all the co-op members. We, actually, we hired from corporate life to become the supers of the building because no one else takes care of the building. But, we haven't had a problem with the restaurants. We've always had a very friendly communication with them.
Are you a co-op or you?
We're a co-op.
Okay. All right, so you are so if I just want to make sure, the co-op is renting to you.
Yes.
Or renting, you're the ownership entity. Explain that to me, please.
Well, actually, there's an association that actually rents from the co-op, okay? And the association, we're actually in the association and the co-op, my wife and I. So it actually works out very well because we kind of control the restaurant and the relationship within the co-op. So we've never had any kind of issue with the co-op because of that. I think there probably would have been some issues if nobody lived in the building, but we actually.
And the previous restaurant that was there, that I took over, they had also liquor license for 10 years, a full liquor license.
Okay, any other questions? Can I?
The entrance, it doesn't look like it's, they would have put a ramp in.
So we have ramps.
There's a
yeah.
ramp.
But they're movable.
I think go to the bathroom, but.
They can get in.
Can I have a, one second? Oh, yeah.
As somebody who had a husband in a wheelchair for 15 years, is it right morally to keep grandfathering in something that's wrong?
Well, I think it's a very good question. And if Betty were here, we'd ask her what she thought, but I think the problem is we don't have the authority. There is no way that, SLA won't grant this with that grandfathered in. It's a bigger issue and, all kinds of things. It's a problem for us, because we look and we ask the question. My Hawkeye over here always asks the question. And, morally, I don't know, all right? It's a problem, okay? It is a problem, but we can't deprive her. We're just not in that position. So, we called the question.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor. Jane?
I wasn't here for this.
Okay.
You can abstain.
You can abstain. Joel?
What about Durham?
They're on left. Where are we?
Where is this place?
157 Wayne.
Oh.
It's right near you.
When are you guys open?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Without the plus, of course, October.
This is,
October.
Mexican?
No,
Brazilian.
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 All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good. When are you opening?
I just asked about October.
So great.
Thank you.
We have
Thank you.
Brazilians and Thais coming to try.
Very excited.
Even though I don't think I'm Brazilian, I'm Brazilian. Bye, thank you.
I'm 116. 157 is
Shake Shack?
from the.
Shake Shack.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're not, what are you asking
Oh,
for?
they're in
Wine and.
Wine,
yeah,
beer,
yeah.
and cider.
Hi.
Hello. We currently have wine, beer, and cider. We've been there for many years. We're just doing a simple corporate officer change. Our founding CEO and COO have moved on from our company.
I
And
know.
we,
I know them.
they're well known in this city, so. And we have two new leaders that we want to put on all the licenses. So that is one of my jobs to do across all our locations.
What a question?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm an anti.
I was just gonna say,
Very active.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Pretty broad.
do we want to do Pier 15 real quick?
Quick ones.
We should do.
The
Let's
closing.
do Pier 15.
Oh, did you say Pier 15?
Let's do that first.
The seaport.
That's 40 broad. I'm gonna make you wait a minute.
That's okay.
Good. Pier 15, are you here?
Yes, we are.
Sound.
Okay, our biggest concern with Hornblower, pass it out, would you please?
Two pages. Both of them were line.
The biggest concern I think we have.
Yes.
Will you introduce yourself to the record?
My name is Phil Dorn. I am an attorney with Pazetsky and Bookman. Behind me is Nilda Bracero. She manages the food and beverage for Hornblower throughout New York. Before we jump into all the details, I just would like to give a little color. Hornblower is a well-known and highly reputable vessel operator. They operate all the ferries in New York City. They also operate sightseeing vessels. The statue cruises, you name it. They are a New York success story. They started in New York a couple decades ago. They're now in several markets across the US, DC, Niagara Falls, San Francisco, you name it. They're extremely well operated. They have a great reputation in those markets, a great reputation with the state liquor authority. This is a removal application. So just so everybody understands what a removal application is, in the normal scope of liquor licensing, when you have a restaurant or a bar, a removal is when one restaurant moves to another location, right? So that's the SLA's term. It's called removal, but it's moving. It's a little different with a vessel. A vessel inherently always moves, right? It's gone from one dock to the other. That doesn't change here. The only thing that a removal encompasses for a vessel, for a boat, is where it sleeps at night. Okay? So this boat was at Pier 40 in Manhattan Community Board 2. But for the last several months, it's already been going in and out of Pier 15. It's allowed to do that because vessels are allowed to pick up and drop off wherever they want. The SLA only cares about, they need an address on file basically for where it sleeps at night after the 2 a.m. or after the 11 p.m. when the boat docks and goes to sleep. So that's all this is. This is just a formality of changing an address for the state liquor authority for where the boat goes to bed at night.
Well, it's where the boat goes to bed, but it's hours.
What
or
time does it go to
bed? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's next to it.
Absolutely, but the point I'm making is that even if the address on the state liquor authority's database was listed back at Pier 40, which is in CB2, or even on the Upper West Side, it could still pick up and drop off people in this community all the way up until 4 a.m.
I understand, but I do understand, but is it gonna drop off, what is it, 300 people?
Right.
All at once at 2 a.m. in the morning at Pier 15,
15.
which is way down by.
By the seaport.
Well, it's by the seaport and a big housing development, a co-op that is down there and people.
So it has been doing it already since April with zero issue. Its lease expired in.
I'm actually going to say that's not true.
Yeah, that's definitely not
That's
true.
definitely not true. You may think there were zero issues, but that's not true. Keep going.
Go on and speak, and then Joel. Okay, Tammy first, go. Tammy?
I'll let him finish his presentation and then I have several questions.
No, please go ahead.
I knew he was gonna say that, so I know Phil by this time. He's Max trained.
Hi, Max. Welcome. So,
Phil, not Max, it's Phil Dorn.
well, welcome, Phil. So, there are lots of issues with hornblower boats. Not the party boats, specifically, I can think of the Majestic over Labor Day weekend, for example, has been hugging the west side of CB1 with music pounding that you can hear 2 blocks in. So there are serious noise complaints that are being filed. It's very difficult to get that done because the Coast Guard has to catch you in there is no place to really report it. I can promise you this because I've been called for 2 weeks about the boats going up and sharing the docking, the website for people to try and report it. I've called EDC to speak to EDC as well. So there are problems with the noise. There's also queuing issues. We had them at Pier 40. Hudson River Park Trust got tons of complaints about not having any kind of pedestrian control or help when people left the boats and then got back onto the streets for directing people crossing traffic and things like that. So I think that we need to have those conversations here as well. And we need to understand, where are you queuing? How is it affecting the public space at Pier 15, which is supposed to be widely available? And how are you getting people in or out? The sound levels are an issue about the boats going around, and the music, and the boats traveling at all hours of the night. So glad that you'd like to dock at Pier 15, glad about the liquor license, but there's a lot of noise complaints. And I get to hear them, and there's no way to get them to you. So first, I'd like a system that can be put in place. And second, I'd like answers about the public space.
Sure, I'd love to address those. Thank you for your comments. The first thing
Phil, before you, I'm sorry, I'll add to Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. So we had an agreement in place. I believe Paul Hovitz had brought it up a long time ago, that there was a certain amount of feet required for you to be outside your docking area before the music could actually start. And that's what Tammy is talking about, because the music travels along the water. So we had an agreement with Community Board 1 that after you pull out and you're going out on your way, there was a certain amount of feet we agreed upon that then you could turn on the music. The music cannot be docked. It cannot be when you're coming into dock. And this was all signed as an agreement when we give you a liquor license way back when. You're not living up to what your stipulation was about how many feet away from the docking area or how far you're out in the river you are before you can start your music. So I just wanted to piggyback onto Tammy.
I would also.
And sorry, Phil, that's east and west side. Joel's talking about it on the east side where you're currently going docking. I'm talking as you go up and down on the west side.
Okay, so thank you, both of you, for those comments. The first thing I just want to point out is Majestic, which is the vessel that Tammy spoke about that is having so many issues. That's not one of Hornblower's vessels. That's not us. That's a party bus that we are not involved with or related to whatsoever. As far as sound goes, yes, absolutely. We are happy to agree to music being lowered as the boat enters the dock, and vice versa, not beginning until it exits the dock. That is something we do at all our locations, wherever the boats are situated. But the point Joel made about how we're not living up to our stipulations. We don't have any stipulations with this community board because we're not here yet. That's why we're here before you. So perhaps there have been other vessels operated by different operators that have been docked at Pier 15 or other piers in this community that have not lived up to what they agreed to with the stipulations. But that's not us. That's not Hornblower. Hornblower, like I said, is a highly reputable operator. They do all the ferries in New York City. They have a very good reputation with the State Liquor Authority, and they have not yet agreed to anything in this committee because this is the first time we're before you. So we are happy to agree to that in those stipulations, and it's something we practice at all the locations that we're docked at, whether that's in the West Village or the Upper West Side or Brooklyn, you name it. As far as Tammy's comments about the queuing, there was a diagram that was posted on the screen a few minutes ago. There is a line that forms, and you'll see it's outlined in red. There are barriers as well as trained staff to ensure that the queuing remains orderly and on that side of the pier, so as to leave all the walking space on the, I believe that's the north side of the pier, so that there's access for the public.
We've actually added security to help with queuing, to make sure that we leave the public walkway open in conjunction with Waterworks, who also has the venue at the end of the pier.
So I have a question. The queuing getting on, but what about getting off? That's what,
Same thing.
okay.
Same thing, security coming off the water, they have the barricades to make sure they're controlling the line.
Right, and there's obviously not going to be a line to exit. Once people exit the boat, they're going to leave the pier.
Is the walkway all the way around open, or is the walkway on the southern side closed off?
The walkway is on the southern side is used for queuing.
Is it
You
closed
have to
off
keep it-
24, is it closed off 24/7, or is it
No,
barricades?
no, it's not closed off.
The only barricades that only have cruisers.
Pardon me, I didn't hear.
There are barricades that are put up temporarily when they have a vessel that is going to be leaving. And you can walk around those barricades if you so wish, or you have the entire other side of the pier.
But the barricades, when the boat is not there, are not there.
No,
correct?
they're removed, yeah.
And where are they stored?
In our scope of area stores that you can see supervises in our ticket office, so we also, in addition to the security that's on board, we also have personnel that stay on the dock, and their sole responsibility is to clean up the pier, remove the barricades.
Yes, in case that wasn't heard, there's dedicated staff that remains on the pier to make sure it's orderly, to make sure that the barricades are moved into their private space that they've been given by the landlord, the water lord, if you will.
Funny.
I came up with that on the spot. I'm pretty happy with that one.
Funny.
So this is daily throughout the year?
Yes,
All
correct.
right.
And there's one thing that I'll add, we haven't really spoken about the hours, but I know in the beginning there was hesitation. 2 AM is very rare for when these events end. This is a boat line that focuses mainly on educational events and private events. They're open starting at 9 AM. They work in tandem with a lot of the universities in New York City. They do educational tours around the island. 2 AM is very infrequent for these events. Most of the time, the boats are getting in by 11 o'clock at the latest.
I think that asking for 2 AM straight through is a lot. So you gotta figure it out.
Well, the only reason was to have the flexibility for those infrequent events, and we're happy to limit that, if you
Well, how
will.
many events do you want?
We call it 24 in a calendar year. I mean, really, most of them are ending at 11. This is a highly reputable operator, and one that's been operating, going in and out of this Pier 15 for quite some time now.
24 total for the year, and if you wanna lump them all together, cause there's gonna be a high season.
I will
you may
do
wanna
24 in 1 month.
You know, you do 24 however you want to.
Thank you.
So 24, and what's a reasonable time? The events will go to 2 AM.
That's right.
Events.
Bedtime is at 2.
Yeah.
Can we call it around midnight, so it would be midnight?
There's no such thing as a round. It has to be a definitive thing.
Yeah.
No, I was just term of art, round 12. Can we call it 12 is what I was saying.
It is.
So we going across the board,
2 for
12?
the Events, the 24 events, and it would be 12, everybody?
Yes.
Of the rest of the week.
And it's not closing at 12 every night, but it's just in case a boat tour does get scheduled for that late, then they have the flexibility to come in by 12, but most of the time it's not going to be.
Okay, fair enough.
So Thursday, 12. That's what you're talking about?
The week
Every day of the
12,
week.
except for 24.
I hate to say it, Susan, I hate to say it, but they already advertise their hornblower parties like New Year's Eve until from 9:30 to 1:30. So the boats are taking off at 9:30 at night till 1:30. They're already advertised.
Well, that's because they're already allowed to be doing this. As I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, if they're docked at Pier 40, that just means where they're sleeping at night after that 1:30. They're allowed to drop people off at Pier 15 at 1:30. That's within their rights under the vessel license.
So
which is
what
a
are
very-
you saying, Tim? You want it 1:30 or you want, is that what you're saying? I'm trying to figure it
No,
out.
I'm just saying that they already are. I'm confused at why the New Year's Eve one, is that considered a special event or is that they're just regular rentals? Like,
It's
I'm
a special
confused.
And especially then, we actually co-sponsor the fireworks with other venues, in New York City, both land-based and other boat operators.
That's when
So
they're
it's not
24.
only the New Year's Eve, but it's also July 4th, or.
But July 4th is earlier because it's a Macy's fireworks.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
it would
it's
be
one of the two would be,
on 24 occasions
Yeah,
in
New
the
Year's.
calendar year, we would have the ability to finish the drop off by 2 AM and then go to bed.
So New Year's Eve is on a Tuesday this year. Just.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have far more issues with nightclubs open till 4 AM on New Year's Eve than a boat.
Gabby?
Really do.
Where did we land with having like a contact or a process when there are noise complaints? I understand the Majestic's not yours, but if we can
We
get
can
a
make that a
contact.
stipulation that
Yes,
then
we-
the
we
applicant.
We have brand new manager as well.
Okay.
So we need that in
will
this.
provide- Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, it's in the contact info is in the packet we
Okay.
provided, but we can make that a stip that the
That's
applicant
fine.
will provide.
And,
And is that number like it's more than a phone number? I hear where Gabby's going. If it's a phone number, then it's got to be a phone number that's answered at any time the
Absolutely.
boat is off the dock. There has to be a
Yeah.
documented process. So
We
an
will
email.
provide that as a stip. I don't want to stay on the record right now that the number that we included in the packet is that number that
but you will.
but we will give you one that is a human answering the phone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let me understand, other than your special events till 2 AM, your 24 for the year, we're going to give you till 11 or midnight?
Midnight.
I say midnight. I think I'm.
What do you want?
And we're first
Midnight.
Midnight, if you want to.
I'm fine with that.
Midnight,
Thank you.
okay?
We appreciate that.
All right. So, it is daily from 9 AM till midnight, including Sundays. And for 24 events during the year, you'll have till 2 AM. We will have a number
doesn't-
that we
It
can,
doesn't matter what day though.
no, but
Okay,
whatever
all right.
it is, it is. It's a special event, we're gonna be flexible.
Okay.
Anyway. I don't know.
Outside of New Year's Eve, I doubt it would be a Monday night where we're operating.
Perfect Friday.
Yeah, no one wants to stay out.
So you want us to put in Thursday, Friday and Saturday?
No, just in case New Year's Eve, like you say. I'm just trying to piece this
Thanksgiving,
together.
Thanksgiving, a lot of people like about Thanksgiving.
Whatever.
Not even turkey and going to, but.
Anything else?
I wanted to ask whether or not they are allowed to run events while the boat is docked at the pier.
No, that's,
They have to do.
are we
it.
allowed to under the SLA? Yes, there's no law that says you can't, but that's not our operation. Our operation is music doesn't be, and by the way, music is only inside the vessel. It only goes up when the vessel exits the dock and turns off when the vessel.
That's what I remember about home road. And that liquor is cut off. Right?
Yeah, before approaching, it's the last call to the restaurant before, start approaching
Right.
here.
It's like a half
So
hour,
now-
hour before you dock.
So no one can get a drink as they're pulling up to the dock and
Right.
then, and there's no alcohol to be taken off the boat.
Okay, all right, Tammy?
Oh, I'm great. As long as we get a process from the neighbors, I'm in fantastic shape.
Okay.
Question.
Second? Second. All in favor? Joe?
I, yes,
Okay. I go.
Thank you all.
Do you still serve alcohol on the ferry, like on the commuter ferry?
Yes,
Is it just a staffing issue that I don't have the level?
they are licensed, all
Yeah.
ferries. Are you saying that they've stopped
I'm
their,
not, yeah, I'm not.
might be a staff?
Got it.
You mean the Staten Island ferry? No.
No, just like this,
To Williamsburg
Yeah,
and.
yeah.
like the concessions are
Look
never
into
open
that.
anymore.
I'm curious about that.
Well, now you
Thank
know, now you know where to go for New Year's Eve if you're looking for.
Oh, sweetheart. Bye.
Thank you very much. Very much for your day.
Okay. Last but not least, Come on, Broad Street.
We're here.
Did we do Fulton Street yet?
Last one, or is anybody here for a renewal that might not be seen?
Which one?
Just in general. Everyone's here for this, right? Nobody's here for a renewal?
What about Fulton Street? We didn't do Fulton Street.
We did it.
Oh, that was first, okay. Okay, so I missed that.
No,
We share.
we share.
We have like more than that.
So hi, good evening, Ben Savitsky of Bernstein Radio, Ben Savitsky. They're here tonight for 40 Restaurant LLC and Reserve Hospitality Group LLC. The one thing I do want to mention to you is the packet that we gave out here is what we are asking for as far as the hours. There was an earlier submitted application at later hours. This is 40 Broad Street on the second floor. This is a transfer application on a full on-premises liquor license that is currently being used as a restaurant at 40 Broad Street on the second floor. It's Reserve Cut. It's a kosher steakhouse. It's been operating since I think 2008. They have stipulations on file with you guys from 2013. This is a transfer application really in name only. The current owner and operator is Albert Alahan. He is staying on as owner and operator. They are restructuring and taking in some new investors, which is why we need to be here with you because we are bringing on a new entity. This is Jackie Michon. He's a representative of Reserve Cut. He can answer any questions you have about the operations. Everything is staying the same. It's still a kosher steakhouse. It has an Asian influence, but it is a kosher steakhouse. Only recorded background music, no outdoor space because we are on the second floor. You never have to worry about DOT roadbed seating or sidewalk cafe seating. The windows are not operable, so the windows do not open. The one request that we're making here that's different from what we currently have is the current hours of operation are 11 p.m. during the week and midnight on the weekends. We are asking for 1 hour later to allow us, our customers to actually sit down at a little bit of a later hour and finish their wine or their beer or their liquor.
So the real question is, how many bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, the whole business do you have?
In a calendar year?
Yeah.
Are you talking about buyouts or are you talking about just
in general?
Just in general? Say about under a dozen, under 10?
And buyouts?
Buyouts, 1 year?
And they do corporate events as well. They have a private room where they do corporate events. Right.
So talk to me again about the hours.
So it's currently 11 and midnight. And by the way, they're closed on Friday nights. There's a Sabbath spot. And Jackie was actually telling me that after year, they're closed on Saturday nights as well. We are looking for 1 hour later than we currently have. So during the week, midnight, and on Saturday, 1 a.m.
So wait, and Sunday? I thought that Sunday 1 a.m.
Sunday.
Says 12.
Oh, they have 12. I'm
We changed it, I'm sorry.
throwing this out. Done. Thank you. Okay.
So currently, you said they're closed on Fridays?
They're always closed on Fridays.
Always, but why does it say Friday, Saturday, 12 to 1?
Because I think we just were going in your sheet.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to cross out Fridays.
No, no Fridays.
Friday.
We've had some complaints, and that's what I wanna,
I just want to mention one more thing. We did meet with the resident board earlier today. They had no objection to the item.
The changes you made.
We talked about
We
the
asked
hours.
for 2 and then, yeah.
We hear from the folks in the room?
what?
We hear from the folks in the room?
Are you are here? Yes. Talk to us. Tell me your name.
My name is Diane Albanese. I am a resident of 40 Broad Street. I was one that submitted about 8 videos of being physically assaulted, of public drinking on the sidewalk that is allowed by the restaurant. And this restaurant has been a nuisance to this neighborhood as well as the residents of 40 Broad Street. I also, in one of the videos that I sent you, is patrons of the restaurant coming out, going to their car, which is illegally parked all over Broad Street. They use it as a public parking space, it's illegal. There's no standing anytime on Broad Street in that area because of the stock exchange and the security. and they come in and they park there illegally, blocking every single fire hydrant in the neighborhood, and I've given photographs of that. So patron came out of the building, went to his car, put the top down on his car, blasted the music at full blast at midnight. Again, the video I have you is timestamped that shows that, and had a dance party. When I went out there to film them and ask them to stop, I was harassed. I was called horrible names, and I was surrounded by a group of about 6 men. This restaurant is a nuisance to this neighborhood. This goes on all day, every day of the week. And it's worse, New Year's Eve, they come into the lobby side of the residential building, drunk, refuse to leave when asked by the building staff. Last New Year's Eve, 3 people came in, a woman vomited on the floor, they refused to leave, and when my doorman tried to get them to leave, they went over to behind his security desk and tried to physically assault him. This restaurant should not be allowed to stay open to any later than it currently is, and I think it should be, the license should be revoked. I've got 3 videos of people drinking on a public sidewalk. And I have 1 video of one of those patrons drinking on the public sidewalk, saying that he asked the restaurant where he should go out and smoke with the glass in his hand, and the restaurant told him, just go out in front of the building. So the restaurant knows full well that their patrons are leaving the 2nd floor lobby, coming down in the elevator and drinking in the lobby, drinking in the common areas of the residential building, drinking on the sidewalk and the street. Because they are parking all over the street, they come out, they loiter, they have a party in the middle of Broad Street. This is a quiet residential neighborhood where traffic is very light because of the barricades for the stock exchange. This is a security issue for the families, for the other businesses, and for the stock exchange.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Before Francis does. How come the cars are allowed in? I'm fascinated because I live down.
His own back room.
Yes, so I spoke.
Politicians love this, right?
I spoke to the security guard. I spoke to the security guard. I asked him that very question. I'm like, there's no parking allowed in here. Why are you allowing these cars? And so the security guard said, we tried to stop them. We did for a few weeks. And we got a call from the chief of police to the head of security at the stock exchange that told them that they do not have the authority to block traffic into that neighborhood. The mayor of the city and the police chief both go to this.
Oh, don't even go there. Go on.
My name's Bill Bialowski. I've been living in 15 Broad for the last 6 years and Community Board 1 resident for over 35. I've attended 6 months of community meetings of the 1st precinct complaining about parking on the street and the fact that it is illegal. The precinct doesn't seem to care. And they will not come and write tickets. For some reason, they get a rash over the writing new tickets. It is a nuisance and it's a real problem because their patrons come out drunk. The idea of giving them an extra hour to drink and recklessly tear out of that neighborhood in a car is frightening. And I want to add one other thing. If you were to call the restaurant and ask, as I have done many times, to get a reservation and ask where I'm to park, I'm told it's okay to park out front.
My name is Ann McCarthy. I also live in 15 Broad, which is
I know.
corner.
I live down, right.
40
Yeah.
Broad. I'm a homeowner there and I've been there 11 years and I agree with what they're saying. There are no restaurants there except for Serafina, which is very, very quiet.
I know.
It always sort of seems like it's closed, even though there are people in it, even though people are drinking in it. There's nobody in the street, nobody's making noise. There's lots of kids in the area. There are 1, 2, 3, there are 4 apartment buildings, large apartment buildings, all families. There's no cars that are supposed to be in the area, even though you can actually drive through and go out. There is no parking there. They park there, they drive in and they walk up.
We're coming to eat next week, and I'm meeting friends.
To the hydrants, It's a nuisance, they're loud, they're drunk, they're rude, and on a daily basis, and on an evening, I mean, it's not just once in a while.
It's every night.
Often, and I agree, they shouldn't even be there, let alone have their time extended.
Go on.
I'm with her.
That's all right. You can stay.
Yeah, it's just
And
perfectly right.
you've seen the video. Did you watch the videos that I've sent?
Of course I did.
They're horrific. The things that man who assaulted me yelled at me, the things that sexual violence he was threatening me with. This is what I deal with on a daily basis, which is why I have all these videos to protect myself. Because I have been assaulted and accosted and yelled at and screamed at for the last 4 years.
She can't even go and walk her dog until 11 o'clock at night because she has to make sure that the restaurant is closed and there'll be no patrons in front. So she has to wait until after 11 o'clock at night to walk her dog, so she's not harassed.
Go right ahead.
Back in April, March 31st, I had the need to call an ambulance. Your cars were parked. You have one entrance that they could use to go in front of the building. They have to go around the block to get in from the other stock exchange side to come.
And the issue with the parking is because they are parked all over the street, they come out of the restaurant and they loiter and because their cars are there, they use the cars as a stereo system. And because there's no through traffic, they throw a party in the middle of the street at midnight.
Tell me what your hours are now.
Current operations are 11 PM and midnight.
And I see patrons going back into the restaurant after those hours. They come out, they smoke, they drink, they go back in.
Well, I know what I think. I want to hear from my committee. I really am bold. All right, I live not far away, as does Joel. I'm not out late, I don't walk around there, but nobody is supposed to park there. I know the rules. So I want to do something else, and I want the community members to try to go to the quality of life meeting with the police captain when he comes, all right? I think it is critical that he be there and that you be there. And we will try to tell you when, or you can check with Onesh, because this is unconscionable.
Listen, I hear you. This is the first that I'm hearing about
It
this.
cannot be.
But
Every one of the managers knows about this, every one of them. I have spoken to every one of the managers.
All right, stop. Wait. Please. I know, but try. Okay.
That's who owns the restaurant. Joseph Dweck.
Suzanne, they can also, we should have them at the end of the month because it is September. Go to the first precinct community council meeting. That'll be really important for them to be able to talk directly with NYPD and get immediate help.
Okay.
the things that I'm hearing sound terrible. They sound awful. I have not verified them. I believe everything that they're saying. I think that there must be something going on here. There must be a missing piece. I do not think that the restaurant is sponsoring these activities or telling people to do these things. I think what we should do is we should probably go back to everybody at the restaurant, figure out what's going on here.
And come back.
Here
I
and talk
agree,
this over.
because
because
there is
I-
no way.
I have a recommendation. Every car who comes into Broad Street has to tell the guard booth where to go. The residents use this to simply drop things off and return. If you were to go and collect the data from that guard booth, you would see the number of people who are coming to the restaurant. Maybe we don't allow a single car other than the drop off of a handicapped person to come into the Broad Street area with the car.
The security guards, I spoke to them and they said because of the restaurant, they are having to check an extra 200 cars a night because the patrons come in. If they can't find parking, they go around. They come in again, around and around and around. That is a security issue for the stock exchange. You are wasting resources of the stock exchange. You are.
All right,
The restaurant is where the patrons are coming.
Wait, everybody stop. Okay, I think Benjamin's point is well taken. I think that there is no way we could approve this in any way, shape, or form, all right? So I suggest that we give ourselves, I want you to go, you can ask Omed when the police precinct is, we will give you the information and the quality of life when the police captain is there. It's critical. This is unconscionable. I'm really just beside myself.
I want to ask one thing, one
Please.
favor. If you can send me those videos and all of the pictures that were
We'll
sent,
like-
because I haven't seen those, I
We'll
would
send
like
it
to
to
review
you.
those.
Okay, so let's say, give ourselves at least a month. Let's postpone it, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you can't, you'll come in November, but whatever, at least not.
And thank you guys so much for coming,
Right now.
for at least voicing these concerns so that we can get
All right,
addressed.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Just curtailing their hours.
Well, do all of that, but I think.
Yes, so, I'm just curious, so, they ever go out there?
No, we have a few.
But not as.
All right, we have one more item, everybody. It's not a person that is part of our budget, am I correct?
You guys.
Tell them.
And I think they're able
We have,
Want me to take it?
capital and budget. Hello, would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Please call, wait, don't run. 311.
Oh, we do. There's hundreds of complaints on
We don't
311.
have them. We don't have them.
You gotta get a record of.
Get a record.
I had 4 pages of numbers. They're gone. They were from like a year ago because I gave up because nothing was ever done.
It doesn't matter.
No,
Keep
the
doing it.
police came into my building to intimidate me. The police came into my building and said, where's the lady that keeps making all the 311 calls? They tried to get me out of bed at 11, intimidating me.
When you submit it, you have to do like a print to PDF and just keep a record of your own 311
I
because they're not
stopped
normally.
calling because nothing was happening and the police came to intimidate me.
I want one. I'm not surprised since
And I
it's
thought-
very public.
Complaint with the state liquor authority, uploading one of the pictures of the man on the street with the wine glass.
Give this stuff to Ben. We'll get it
Yeah,
to
give
him.
it, yeah.
And keep calling. I don't give a shit.
When you submit on the app or you submit on the, you have to take a picture of when you submit and then save that to your own records.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do. Thank you very much for.
Thank
doing
you
this.
for coming.
You are all.
Sorry, you guys had to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Collecting those videos for a couple of years now.
Good
Wait,
for you.
wait for someone to see
Send it to
them.
the New York Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I was
I'm
looking,
sure they're
I was
looking.
looking to get a photograph of the mayor coming in and out of the restaurant and then send it to the New York.
Well,
Times.
you don't need that. Commissioner, perhaps.
I thought he's gone.
Yes, not yet.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate you listening.
Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
All right, before you go. Can I have a piece of that man?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna say thank you to everybody and enjoy your budget stuff, but thanks for the time. Thanks for having me here and see you guys. Grateful for all of you.
My view is, wait, are we recording? No.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
all right, why don't we, it's on public record. There are two things, I want to say. One is, I think the biggest budget item for us is enforcement. Is that there be money allocated for enforcement on hours in terms of the liquor hours and whatever our stipulations, and enforcement of the rules regarding outdoor dining. And, I mean, that's what I think that's what we need to make our community safe and reasonable. Anything else?
What is the expenses that we?
Yeah, where did it?
I have no idea. What are the current? We'll have to ask him. I don't have a clue. But I will figure it out, all right? But I think that in case of budget, I think it's the overall budget for the district, that we need more enforcement, more staff.
Committee didn't have like any line items that we.
I don't think
We
so.
don't.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't think we ever have, yeah.
I mean, what, I'm thinking about, what do we pay for it when we investigate, and what are the things that
We don't pay,
we don't pay?
no.
So what expenses?
We're asking the city to,
Put a line item budget for us, for this committee.
Mhm.
in terms of enforcement.
And what would we actually do with it? How would we use it?
No, that would be allocated to whatever, say it was $100,000 to get enforcement, that would be that's what we need, that would be our court. We would be-
We would sign various dollar amounts to agencies?
No, they would.
Right.
We just get a pot of money and,
Yeah.
spend it. Hopefully it covers our.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a staff person?
Right.
A little Miss Monitor. Just so you know, somebody reminded me that in the 9th grade at John Burroughs Junior High School in Los Angeles, I was in charge of garbage and safety.
This was the seed that was planted, that turned into the chairperson of the community board in New York City.
Yes, we are